Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back to Phoenix Wright. We're continuing with the second half of Case 4. And it just occurred to me what happened at the end of last stream. I can't believe that we're about to go out and get fucking alcohol and bringing it back to the court because it's actually relevant to the case. We're all about to get drunk. This feels like one of those parody Phoenix Wright things I would have watched back in like 2009. This is an actual game. We're playing it. It's not a YouTube video. I cannot wait to see where this is going. Reminder, this was just to coerce a certain individual out from hiding, who is supposedly the killer. Or allegedly anyways. The evidence is certainly pointing towards them, but maybe it's too early to say for sure. Now that the speed buttons have arrived, this court is back in session. Go on, Wendo. Eat up. Unless he refuses, because he knows what will happen. Nice flavor. You can really taste the sake. That was delicious. Yes, a unique sweetness in the faint aroma of sake. Yet I hardly think that anyone could pass out from eating something like this. What's the matter, Wendo? You're not afraid of a tiny manju, are you? Are you scared of how many calories it has? Don't be ridiculous. A sweet little snack like this couldn't possibly... I mean, it could never... Less bleeding, more eating, witness. Fine. Whatever. See, I don't affect me in the slightest. We might be lightweight, but come on, nobody's that light. Seriously, nobody gets drunk. Ooh, that's quite the fall. That's Owen? It looks like it worked. Oh my. Witness, please tell the court your name and occupation. Oh. My name is Owen. I'm 5. This is the killer. You're 5 years old? How does that even work? You're just saying that. What? Am I in trouble? Please don't yell at me. So he's the Wendo's 4th personality? I hardly think a child like him could have motive to murder the victim. And even if he had a motive, could he have actually committed the murder? That's a very good point. Owen does appear to be very timid and weak. Seems the defense was hoping this hidden personality would be the real killer. But now that he is standing here before us, it is clear that none of Wendo's personalities can be the killer. He's only been conscious for 5 years? That's not how that works. Even if you're born a vegetable, you're still born. That doesn't mean that your birthday's pause until you, like, come out of a coma. Where can I even go from here? Seesaw? Owen, do you know something about what happened to your master? Come on, buddy. Would you tell Auntie Athena what happened? What a scary lady. I'm not scary. Look at Auntie's big smile. Tell me about your master, please. Pretty please, with sugar on top. Okay.
Shiso was super nice. He always played with me. Just like a real grandpa. I loved Shiso.
Athena, do you sense anything behind his words?
Sense of sadness. Sadness so pure it's heart-rending, but no discord. Prosecutor Sanmari is right. Owen isn't the killer.
But then, don't you find it odd?
Find what odd?
Let's review what we've learned so far. Wendo rearranged the Karuta cards to pin the blame on Bucky.
Well, that's because the original message implicated Owen. But Owen is only 5 years old and absolutely adores Master Tornado.
Exactly. The other 3 personalities also have no motive for murder. If Owen isn't the true culprit, then the person who first laid out the cards
probably wouldn't have been Master Tornado. So then, who did it? Events? Did the appearance of Owen help you figure anything out? Yes, Your Honor. I now know who it was that first laid out the Karuta cards. But I thought it was the victim, right? No, Your Honor. I don't believe it was. The one who first arranged the Karuta cards on the table is none other than... Wet Noodle number 3. His 5th personality? Oh, could you imagine? What do we have to give him for that? Hey, we got some weed on him? Maybe some coke? How far do we have to go down this rabbit hole before we find the guy? I would love that. I think we'll go with the obvious answer, though. I believe the person who laid out the cards is the very person who killed Typhoon Tornado. I mean, wasn't that kind of what we've been saying the whole time? How quickly you move on to a new target when your Owen theory proves false. How old is the original guy? He's 28. That's not how birth works. You can say you're 5 years old all you want. That just means you have a mental disorder at that point. You Pokunen. I don't know what a Pokunen is, but I know I'm definitely not one. And before you start with the sermons, why don't you hear me out? Yes, let's hear the defense's reasoning. Please proceed, Miss Sykes. But if you are bluffing, I won't go easy on you. I understand, Your Honor. Now then, please recall the original crime scene. Who did the Karuta cards name when the scene was discovered? Let's see. I believe they implicated the defendant, Bucky Wet. That's right. But we then found out that the message originally read Owen 4th. Which implicated the young boy, Owen. Exactly. And the person who rearranged the cards was undoubtedly Wendo.
Wendo may have kept silent, but we can be sure he already knew his master was dead. His tampering with the crime scene using the TV all but proves it.
I confess. I tampered with the crime scene.
The reason Wendo arranged the Karuta cards and moved the TV was because he saw the Owen 4th message and was convinced Owen had committed the crime.
Right on, Prosecutor Blackquill. It would seem that Owen and the other 3 personalities don't share the same memories. But really, there is no 4th personality, it's just the 3 of us in here. Wendo feared that Owen had killed Master Tornado, so he tried to hide Owen from us.
But it turns out Owen is but a 5-year-old child, incapable of hurting a fly, let alone his beloved master.
So naturally, the culprit must be somebody else. And this somebody else, the true killer, tried to pin the crime on Owen. Why the hell would you try and pin a crime on a child? Mentally or otherwise. I see, that does make sense. Like, if for all intents and purposes he's currently a child in his Owen state, why would you even, like, bother with that? Like, no one's gonna believe a 5-year-old killed someone, even if they actually did. This is not but conjecture composed of half-truths and fantasy. Who, then, do you maintain murdered the victim? I believe Owen might know something about that. I refuse to allow such impromptu testimony, and from a 5-year-old no less. Such a young child is incapable of producing anything coherent. That's not how court works. But Your desperation is disgraceful. You should realize when it is time to... I saw it. I saw Shiso getting... Owen, you do know something, don't you? Yeah. Oh my, is this true? If so, we must have Owen testify immediately. Don't you agree, Prosecutor Sadbody? It's all right, Owen. Go ahead and tell us what you know. Shisho was standing with a knife in his hand. Blood was dripping onto Shisho's face, getting it all red. I couldn't move at all. I was so scared, I passed out. And then that's when the other half of him woke up. This is eyewitness testimony from the moment of the murder. Oh, and can you tell us anything else about what you saw? I was so scared. So scared. Owen, his emotions are spiraling out of control. Something must have really frightened him. Is he alright? His emotions are running wild because he's trying to recall something frightening to him. I recommend a therapy session right away. I see. Yes, please do whatever you can to help the poor boy. Will do, Your Honor. I better find the cause of these out-of-control emotions pronto. So hopefully this will reveal the real murderer. But it's interesting that he was staying with knives then. But he's probably because he was like, what was he in the process of making the noodles maybe? What was dripping onto Shisho's face, getting it all red. Couldn't move at all. So scared, passed out. Poor kid. He's absolutely terrified of something. Whatever it is, it might be the root cause of his out-of-control emotions. I better take another careful look at the images. Okay. I mean, I would imagine this guy staying around with a knife in his hand. Probably pretty scary on its own. Passed out. If he passed out, wouldn't there be, like, no emotions whatsoever? But I guess that we're not doing that right now. It's probably the blood. The blood or the knife, I mean, both of those are pretty likely. Yeah, blood was dripping onto Shisho's face. Blood? I don't remember seeing any blood in the crime scene photos. Besides, if the victim was standing upright, how could blood drip down onto his face? As I expected, we all managed to obtain from this child is a tale he dreamt up. I guess it's a little weird for blood to drip onto the victim's face if he was standing up. Unless it dripped down from the ceiling or something. What do you think, Simon? I don't know. Owen's one confused and upset kid right now. So who knows how accurate his memory is. Maybe it's time for that thing instead. Huh? What thing? That thing that you and your cohorts do. What do you call it? Rotate your thinking about? Oh, you mean turn your thinking around? Yeah, whatever. It's the same thing either way. No, it isn't. Who's ever heard of rotating your thinking? I mean, rotate is... Hey, wait a minute. What? You know what, Simon? In this case, I think rotate just might work perfectly after all. Come again? All I have to do is rotate things by 90 degrees. We saw his master. Owen must have been doing a handstand. First flat against the wall. Oh, I mean, he would have been lying on the floor then, probably looking up. What are we rotating? The room, apparently. Or at least the view of said room. Owen must have been lying on the floor when he witnessed his master's murder. What? That's the conclusion I arrived at when I rotated my thinking by 90 degrees. Which means that all of the visuals in my matrix were off by 90 degrees. And... this means Master Tornado was also lying on the floor, which solves another mystery. And which mystery is that? The mystery of how blood could have been dripping onto the victim's face. It becomes much easier to imagine how that could happen if he was lying down. Like someone bleeding onto Master Tornado from somewhere above him. I remember now. Somebody was sitting up on top of Seashore. Trying to recall his master's bloody killers what spooked Owen originally. The blood that stained the victim's face red came from the person sitting on top of him. The victim was holding a knife, so he likely nicked his attacker as he was fighting back. This means his assailant was injured on their face somewhere, like the forehead, perhaps. Assuming the victim and his attacker were face-to-face, then yes. I see. So that is what happened. But if I recall correctly, the accused has a fresh bandage on his forehead, does he not? Oh, come on, that could have been from anything. And a little nick like that is not gonna drip blood all over someone's face. That injury of Mr. Wet's is conclusive evidence that he committed this murder. We can demonstrate this in court right now. Come over here. Let me give you a little nick on the forehead. Seems you have dug yourself into a pit you cannot crawl out of. No, even though I figured out the reason for Owen's out-of-control emotions, all I did was raise further suspicion against my own client. What do I do now?
What's the matter? You aren't thinking of throwing in the towel, are you?
But it looks so bad for Bucky. I mean, he had both motive and opportunity. Plus he has that injury on his forehead. Your Honor, I sense that the defense is finally ready to let it go and move on. Well, Miss Sykes, I understand that you don't want to give up on your clients, but I won't allow you to prolong this trial without a good reason. At least they're not mad at her. They're actually sympathizing with her. That's a huge change from earlier. I really don't want to back down, but...
Athena, are you having doubts about Bucky's innocence?
I wouldn't say that, it's just...
Do you remember what you said to Bucky earlier this morning?
I mean, you believe me, ma'am? Of course, no matter what, I'll believe you to the very end.
Were those just empty words?
Of course not, it's just that all the cards are stacked against us and...
Are you still stuck on that line of thinking? Motive, opportunity, and an injury to his forehead. Is that all it takes to make you stop believing in your client? Tell me again. Who are you to Bucky?
I'm his chickadee lawyer.
Then do your duty and believe in him until the very end.
I will. Simon's absolutely right. I'm Bucky's lawyer and he's depending on me. Defense team, please, no fighting in my courtroom. Defense is ready to resume, Your Honor. Prosecutor Blackwell has just given me a pep talk, that's all. A very aggressive pep talk, holy shit. Thank you, Prosecutor.
I didn't do it for your sake. I did it for the future of Wet Soba.
Yeah, I got it. The defense would like to now continue with Owen's therapy session. Owen, would you be alright with that? Okay. So, somebody was sitting on top of Shisho bleeding from their head, and smooshing something into Shisho's face. Was it the noodles? That's funny.
What is it?
I still hear discord in Owen's voice, but I don't sense any inconsistencies between his statements and his emotions. What if the red wasn't blood? Just putting that out there for now. And there don't seem to be any contradictions in his testimony itself either.
Ah, so that's it, huh?
Did you figure something out?
Your ability to sense emotions is making you focus too much on his feelings, Athena. There's actually something he's being very vague about in his testimony. If you can clarify what he's feeling uncertain about with some evidence, you should be able to move forward from there.
Okay. That makes sense. I'll give it a try. I'll just update the mood matrix with this new information, and then we'll be ready to go. So just need to present some evidence on what Owen is being vague about, huh? I mean, clearly it's the something that he's smooshing into his face. Okay. He was on the floor and somebody was smooshing something into his face. We have evidence for what that smooshing could be. I
Unless we can, like, point to the noodles. I don't know. Oh, this is new too. Can move it all, so scared, passed out. You see the update they're making for it originally? Yeah, I did. It's nice that they're making it a little more consistent with the other ones. Although, I couldn't help but notice that the one feature that's still missing is the history function. Which is a little disappointing, and probably my favorite feature of all of the other compilations is this. But that doesn't seem to be getting added to the original, sadly. I mean, everything else is kind of nice, but it doesn't really change the way like, it doesn't really add anything to the game. Like, okay, yeah, you can, you don't have to play the episodes in order, I guess. You can go and jump to your favorite part of each episode. That's kind of cool. But the history function is, like, actually useful and would be really nice to have, and they're not adding it, so... To me, it just seems... I mean, it's nice that it's getting a little more consistent, but that's a glaring omission, if you ask me. Not adding that back into the original. Okay, he was on the floor and somebody was smooshing something into his face. It's gotta be this, but I don't know what. The title deed? Could be the cards. Like, I want to click on this and I want to, like, point to the... It's gotta be this. It's gotta be. Yeah, okay, we're pointing to the bowl. Let's put a name to that thing Owens and certain of, shall we? By identifying the murder weapon that was used to suffocate the victim. Fortunately for us, I spy the murder weapon right here in this crime scene photo. Unfortunately for you, I spy nothing of the sort. And the police did not spy anything of the sort during their investigation either. Pray tell, where is this murder weapon you see? You don't see it because it no longer looks the way it did when it was used as a weapon. This is what the killer pressed into Master Tornado's face. I mean, I feel like it's the bowl, right? Or the noodles? Smushing something to his face. I don't know, can you suffocate someone with noodles? A bowl you definitely could if it's the right size. Push really hard, like that's what I was thinking. But now I'm wondering if, like, there's anything else in here that could be one of the buns? He wasn't drowning, so it's not going to be like a thing of sake, but he also didn't drown in the noodles. I feel like it's just the bowl, though. I'm going to try the bowl. Okay, no, it's not the bowl. Yeah, that doesn't make sense because he didn't drown in the noodles and they didn't find anything in his lungs. So that wouldn't make a lot of sense. Yeah, the bowl, like, makes sense until you remember that his lungs were empty. So the way that the noodles are laid out, it doesn't really work that way. I'm wondering if it's one of the buns. Or it's the noodles. No, it's not gonna be the noodles. Like, okay, if he was laying on the floor and someone tried to suffocate him. It could be the bun. You don't see it because it no longer looks the way it did when it was used as a weapon. No longer looks the way it did when it was used as a weapon. So what here in this photo changed before and after the killing? The bun could have changed, like maybe that's why there's only half a bun here. But then, like, if he choked on the bun, would they not have found bits of food in his lungs? The wrapping paper? Oh, that could be it. Let's try the wrapping paper. No, okay. I'm gonna try the bun next. Unless I just clicked in the wrong spot, but I feel like... No, okay. It's not the bun either. What else could have changed? The cards? No, you can't really... Like, how would you suffocate someone with a deck of cards? Okay, what else is in that photo that, like... It's not gonna be the sake unless it's, like... The cup, I guess the cup... You know what? It could be the cup itself. But the cup looks like it was full and it got spilt in the picture. And he didn't drown, he suffocated. It could be the noodles itself. Maybe clicking on the bowl is the wrong thing. What did the culprit press into Master Tornado's face? Like, this one looks like it's spilt, so that assumes that there was... Maybe that's why there's flour all over the floor? Wait, could it actually be the flour? He, like, shoved a bag of flour in his face and then, like, it got exploded somehow? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna try this first. I don't know where we'd click for that, though. I hope anywhere is good. The table also moved. I wonder if that's why this is relevant now. Would it? No, it would be the table itself. That's kind of insane. Is it the nudes? You think it's the noodle? Okay, see, I was wondering about that, but I'm like, how the fuck do you suffocate someone with noodles? And he's also laying on them. I mean, I guess that would... Alright, we'll try the noodles. We'll try the noodles. Mystery person Owen saw press soba into the victim's face, thereby suffocating him. I just was like having a hard time wrapping my head around the idea that someone gets suffocated with noodles. Not choked to death by eating them, but suffocated. I grow weary of your tasteless jokes. How could anyone commit murder with soft, delicate soba? The noodles would instantly fall apart if they were pressed into someone's face. Yes, I agree. Well, I disagree. There is a way the soba could have been used to suffocate the victim. What? It will explain your theory at once, Miss Sykes. To kill Master Tornado, the culprit must have smothered him with... uncut soba dough? Did he, like, suffocate him? Make the noodles? And then, like, set it up? This sounds like a plot that they would use for the murder in this game. You go through all the trouble of, like, suffocate someone with raw dough, and then to cover up your murder, you destroy the weapon by turning it into noodles. It's so outlandish, it's perfect. Culprit must have used the soba before it was cut into noodles. In other words, the murder weapon was raw soba dough. What? It's perfect though. Dough is thick. It's a nice big sheet. It's like a blanket. You could definitely, I could kind of see it. Order in the court. Yes, soba dough could definitely be used to suffocate someone, couldn't it? Are you alright, Prosecutor Sunmati? I was just letting the soul of the victim know that the accused will finally face justice thanks to the foolish lawyer before me. And see, this is also why it's perfect choice, because it further implicates our client. This is how it always goes. You do something that's like obviously something the client would do, and then you have to prove that it's not them. That's how it always goes. What are you talking about? Allow me to summarize your statements. As the accused was killing the victim, he was slashed in the face by the victim's knife.
The weapon he used to suffocate the victim was with the dough in the dressing room. He then disposed of the murder weapon by cutting the soba dough into noodles. Why, you smarmy! Afterwards, the accused put the victim's face in the bowl of soba noodles and broth to wash off the blood that had dripped onto the victim's face from his own. And there you have it, the true sequence of events behind this foul affair. Oh, that's why the broth is red? Because he... Wait, did I read that right? With the victim's face in the bowl of soba noodles and broth to wash off the blood that dripped on... Yeah, what? That's why the broth was red. I didn't even think of that. That's great. Now, wait just a minute. I never once said that Mr. Wet was the culprit. Who but the accused knows how to cut dough into noodles, defense? That's a very good point, Prosecutor Satmari. I heard that cutting soba dough into uniform noodles requires considerable training. But then, what about the dying message? How do you explain that? The defendant wouldn't have known about the Wendo's Owen personality. Perhaps the victim was simply playing with the cards and they hold no other meaning. Perhaps he spelled Owen's name in jest, sometime before his murder. That's true. From Owen's testimony, it's clear that Master Tornado cared for the boy. It appears we've arrived at a compelling conclusion. And taken together, all of these points paint a convincing picture of the defendant's guilt. Owen, is there anything else you could tell us? Doesn't matter how small of a detail, anything will do. You're scaring me. Oh, I'm sorry, Owen. Auntie Athena didn't mean to raise her voice. Have to be gentle with him. Can't forget he's only 5 years old. No need to be scared, okay, sweetie? Just tell us anything you can remember. Well, when I woke up, the person who killed Shisho was standing over me, bleeding from their head. Owen, you saw the killer's face? Oops, I did it again. So, who was it, Owen? Do you remember? I don't know who it was. Picking up some noise. That means there's still something to uncover in Owen's testimony. Why would they implicate himself? I mean, that's just... Again, that's how Phoenix Wright usually goes. You have to, like... You have to do everything you can to prove your client is guilty. And then... throw everything away by saying, no, this is why they're not guilty. I don't know what Owen saw, but suffice it to say we are analyzing the dreams of a child. You've wasted enough of our time, defense. Christ, I saw you playing the most outrageous game yesterday. Could say you look like you're playing those games that are in the movies fast enough. Wait, what? What do you mean? Wait, you're talking about System Shock? That game's great. I would be amazed if there was a movie out there where someone was playing System Shock. No, there's still discord in Owen's heart that needs to be addressed. Therefore, I can't give in here. Owen, do you think you could continue your testimony for us? Okay. I'll enter the new info and run an update then. So you had like a small hand, you were pointing at like gauges or something and lights and colors? I mean, I don't think that doesn't sound like System Shock. Were you watching like one of my VODs maybe? Shisho had blood on his face and a knife in his hand. He was on the floor and somebody was smushing dough in his face. I couldn't move at all. I was so scared, I passed out. And when I woke up, the person who killed Shisha was standing over me. Owen saw the real killer's face. This is ultra critical, Eyewitness testimony. You must have been so scared. Wait a minute, what's that one emotion doing in there? It might have just been changing. Man, I don't know how I feel about someone like starting to have dreams about my streams of all things. Okay, just briefly saw it because I was gaming so hard.
I mean, maybe if you were like watching on Twitch last night, then it would have had to 100% been System Shock, because that's all I was playing. But otherwise, I'm trying to think of what that description might match out of all the games I've ever streamed. Okay. So let's see, he's got scared and surprised here. Fine, okay. Still scared and surprised, understandable. Definitely understandable. Also understandable. He was happy. Well, clearly that's the, I would say that's the issue here. This one's pretty obvious. Despite witnessing the culprit's terrible crime firsthand, Owen experienced a positive feeling. One of relief? It was System Shock, I literally couldn't understand it glancing at it. Understandable. It's, especially the sequel. The first one, not so much. I think the first one's a little more straightforward. But the sequel is very heavy in the RPG aspect. And there's a lot of, like, RPG systems and mechanics and stuff to think about in that game for sure. Lots of little things. I like it, though. I'm having a lot of fun with it. The person who witness saw was no stranger, rather it was the accused. Therefore, it is only natural that he felt some level of relief when he saw a familiar face. Defense, end this madness and sully your soul no more. Owen, who did you see? Come on, provide us with like a profile or something. A nice smell. I love the smell of that perfume. Okay, well that drastically narrows things down. Highly doubt our client is wearing perfume. Unless he's using it to like try and cover up all his drunkenness, which he's doing a terrible job. It's the smell of You can do it. Try to remember, Owen. Oh, the smell of is that the end of Owen? Alright, quick, go get some more buns. We need to get him back in here. Owen! Another round of buns. It seems Owen is now resting in the infirmary. They certainly have their hands full today down there. But let's continue with the trial. Despite Owen's testimony, it is the opinion of this humble servant of the Holy Mother that the child's words were insufficient to clear the accused of suspicion. But what about the scent of perfume Owen mentioned? I believe it's a clue that'll lead us to the true culprit. They all smell the same to me? Nasty. Yeah, perfumes do smell pretty chemically, don't they? But there are thousands of perfumes in the world. It could even be the scent of the hair product the accused uses. Now, I don't know about you, but, like, I've never, ever smelt hair product before. In the sense that, like, yo, people use it. I use it. I use some pretty strong scented shampoos. Never have I ever smelt it after I finish showering. You don't smell that stuff. Am I the weird one here? Like, I've never smelt it. Like, to me, I'm just thinking, like, what's the point of even scenting it? Because I don't smell shit after someone uses it. It just smells like hair. Like, I have apple shampoo. Apple scented shampoo. It smells like apples in my hand when I squirt it out of the bottle. After I'm done washing it, it's like, my hair doesn't smell like apples. Like, what was the point? It's meant for other people, but, like, I don't smell other people's either. I can only assume because the chances of them somehow using unscented shampoo are so small. But, like, I don't smell, like, it's not something you smell. Maybe if you, like, ran up to them and grabbed the hair and, like, shoved it in your nose, maybe you might smell a little bit. But, like, that's not the point of having it scented, right? Like, the point is so it smells from a distance. I don't smell anything. So maybe maybe they don't use enough. Maybe I don't use enough. But like, to me, it's like, what's even the point of scenting it? It does have one amazing hairstyles. That's certainly possible. The witness is a 5-year-old boy. He cannot tell the difference between conventional perfumes and hair products. Why couldn't you have gone for a crew cut or something, Bucky? What's more, the only person who can cut soba noodles with such precision is the accused and no other. Oh man, how am I supposed to argue with that?
And so, the person Owen saw at the scene of the crime can only be the accused, Bucky Wet. What the? Look, he decided to show up. Hey, I never use hair products or anything in my smell. I was something like that, the smell get into the soba. Boom, check it. Mr. Wet, aren't you supposed to be resting in the infirmary? Whatever. You think I'd let my soba stink of perfume? Try that chilled soba for yourself and see. I believe we have no choice but to try it, strictly for examination purposes, of course. Now then, let's dig in, shall we? Wow, we get alcohol and soba. Court today's awesome. Free lunch. Isn't soba just noodles and water? Yeah, basically, but the dough is unique. It's more about the dough. I mean, soba is known for being served cold, but it can also be served warm. That was delightful. Well, I'm satisfied that there are no traces of hair products or perfumes in Mr. Wet soba. First sweet bean buns and now savory soba. What a delectable trial this has been. This texture is different from the soba I had the other day. It reminds me of a dish we have in Korean called banupun. What you think, Miss Chickadee? My soba's pretty good, isn't it? It's delicious. Don't you think so, Simon? Still pales in comparison to his late father's cuisine. Simon, why you always gotta be so hard on me? Bailiff, take the defendant back to the infirmary at once for some rest. Rest? Hey, I love a plain old weedy udon, though, you know. I'm fresh, like my soba. You don't let soba dough rest. It's about the three freshness of soba. Grind the seeds fresh, cut the dough fresh, and boil the noodles. Has this guy been drunk the entire time? I don't think you need quotes around that one, Jack. I don't think you need to quote that one. This isn't a play. Why do you think he's like been in the infirmary this entire time? Because he's constantly drinking. He keeps drinking more, and they have to keep putting him back there. No, I don't know how he got the alcohol in the court. This court lets birds in, so I probably was very easy. Good grief, what a defendant. At least Bucky wasn't the source of the perfume smell. Wait, smelly perfume? Looks like you remembered something. The phrase smelly perfume reminded me of a certain somebody. Oh, and who might that be? There's only one person that comes to mind. The phrase smelly perfume reminded me of this person. I mean, gee, who else here would be wearing perfume? Tornado, yes, she did smell very nice, didn't she? Just a moment, defense. You would throw suspicion on Gator now because of a scent? Your Honor, there is no need to go along with these ever-changing claims of the defense. I suppose their claims have been awfully inconsistent, but Gator could have been at the crime scene. Yes, but you'll get to see those balloons of hers if we call her back to the witness stand. How vulgar! His Honor is not interested in such things. I beg to differ. I'm setting the matter of her balloons aside entirely. You know, it's funny because, like, in the original trilogy, he maybe did this one time ever.
And yet, whenever people made like parody videos of Phoenix Wright, there was one series I watched especially that made a huge deal, and like it was a big part of his character, of him just like slacking off during court while Phoenix was like talking or like a witness was testifying, of him watching Mexican porn on a laptop. That was like one of the running gags. And this was like a thing a lot of people did. So did like Capcom see that and just decide to like double down on this? I mean, it's probably not that far of a stretch, you know, it's a classic trope, but even so, I feel like it's happened a lot more since Apollo Justice than it did before Apollo Justice. I do believe it's appropriate to ask Gato some questions, given the circumstances. This has nothing to do with her balloons, of course. Thank you, Your Honor. Look who's back. Why the fuck? Because it was 2008 and that was funny. Thank you for calling this disciple of the Tornado School of Rakugo back for an encore. It's me, the balloon artist you all know and love, Gato Tornado. 1, 2, balloon! What wonderful balloon artistry. Your Honor, please. Now then, what would you like me to make for you this time? I don't know if I like the way that she's rubbing those balloons. Those long, noodle-like balloons. Two-handing them, even. Actually, I called you back for more testimony. But I'm all talked out. This case has left me completely deflated. What? You didn't find that funny? Anyway, what exactly is going on, Simon? It seems the person who murdered Master Tornado was wearing perfume. And you were the only person I could think of who wears perfume. Wait, you mean I'm a suspect now? Gato, you knew about Owen, right? Well, yes, I often played with him at Shisho's request. So that means he could have left that fake dying message, right? What? Just because I wear perfume and know Owen, you think I'm a murderer? How could you? The witness is absolutely right, with no evidence but the distorted memories of a small child. It is outrageous the defense to accuse this woman. Is this the one where she pulls her straps back and they explode? What? Oh no, is that what they're... No, that's not... No. They would, wouldn't they? That's right. You don't even have any proof. You may step down from the stand, Gato. The defense does not have any one scrap of evidence that connects you to the crime. Wait just 1 minute. I may not have proof, but Owen's testimony is still... Enough. Please feel free to leave, Gato. But I'm so close. There must be something I can do. Well, if the prosecutor says it's okay, then I guess I'll be going now.
Silence.
Oi, Gato. You're an entertainer, aren't you? Once you go on stage, it's your duty to complete your performance, is it not? So what are you doing leaving halfway through?
There's a bandage on Gato's forehead. And since we know that Master Tornado's killer has a cut on their face somewhere... Impossible. How did you know, Simon?
I didn't. I had to take a chance and see for myself. Otherwise, your theory would remain a groundless accusation.
Your Honor, Prosecutor Sudmati, the scent of perfume, an injury on the forehead, these things are completely consistent with Owen's testimony. So, do we just need her to prove that she's like a master soba artist or something? In short, the mysterious individual Owen saw in the dressing room could have been Gato. Miss Sykes, does this mean you are formally indicting this witness for the murder of Typhoon Tornado?
Should your accusation prove to be false,
I hope you are prepared to pay the price in full. Simon, what price is he talking about?
I thought that should be obvious. Prosecutor Sadmunk is saying he'll see to it you never stand in a court of law again. I must say, though, he knows how to make a trial interesting.
Whose side are you on, Simon?
Go on, then. Into the deep end with you. You really have but one choice anyway.
Well, Miss Sykes, I'm waiting. With regards to the Witness Gator Tornado, the defense wishes to... There's no reason for me to hold back. Not if I really believe in my client. The defense wishes to formally indict Gator Tornado for the murder of Typhoon Tornado. I've tried to be merciful, but now not even your pleas will reach the Holy Mother's ears. You will have plenty of time to regret your decision. In the pit of hell. Except I won't need to. The person who murdered the victim was not Mr. Wet. It was Gator Tornado.
What is this, like a contract dispute or something?
The bandages. It's just from a silly slip-up I made while cooking yesterday, that's all.
Oh, what were you cooking? It wasn't noodles by chance, was it?
What kind of extreme cooking were you doing to cut yourself on the forehead? Well, what can I say? That's what happened. You also don't have an alibi for the period before 4 p.m., do you, Gato? But I really didn't know if anything was wrong until Shisha was found dead. If you don't believe me, then with the twisty twist twist.
Yeah, that's not gonna win us over.
And Bloon! There you have it, an adorable little kitty.
That looks more like a dog.
How could you expect such a cutesy widow balloon artist like me, Gator, I've been meaning to say this for a while now, but could it be that you don't have an eye for balloon art? Don't you think I'd know that? You have to come out and say it. I'm the daughter of a great Rakugo artist. Never wanted to do stupid balloon art. I was supposed to be an Rakugo storyteller too, just like my late daddy. But Shisha told me to do balloon art instead. I guess the victim thought she had no talent as a Rakugo artist either. So you're still gonna suspect a poor real thing like me?
Yeah, actually, if anything, that kind of makes you more suspicious, the fact you just said that.
Please stop trying to skirt the issue here. It all comes down to the scent of perfume and the cut on your forehead. You and the culprit in Owen's testimony share these two traits. You're dead set on accusing me, aren't you? Well, here's what I have for naughty little girls like you. The twisty twist twist. I'ma cut you, witch. Go ahead and make me testify all you want. When the truth's revealed, it'll be your balloon or mine that goes pop. Got it? Oh my, is this yet another hidden personality? Simon, is everybody in the tornado school like this?
How should I know?
Yeah, I visited the dressing room during that time to make a courtesy call after my act. Shisha and Owen were in there, but they were both snoring up a storm. I saw the note Shisha left, so I just left. I didn't want to disturb him, you know. The perfume Owen smelled must have been left over for when I visited.
That's quite the perfume if it lingers that long.
So Gato's saying she went to the dressing room but then left right away.
Don't take her at her word.
Come on, do you really think I would? I'm just trying to figure out how to get her to talk with what really happened. Now then, Miss Sykes, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
Sanmari's seething right now, the fact that we're getting to this point. Did he know this would happen, or is he just, like, actually adamantly believing that there's no way that she could have done it?
A courtesy call after your performance, huh? Come to think of it, Wendell mentioned making the same kind of visit. Yeah, a visit to your master before and after your routine. That's just common courtesy with us Rakugo artists and entertainers. So that means you paid the victim a courtesy call before your performance too, right? What did you see that time? He was having a drink and getting himself into a festive mood. He'd like to say that drinking gave him a silver tongue. So he was already drinking by then. Wendell wasn't there in the dressing room yet at that time. He must have gone in there doing my act, because when I went back... Could you describe how they appeared? They were both stretched out on the floor, snoozing away. So seeing the victim up and over the table must have been the culprit's doing. After all, who wouldn't stretch out on the floor if they could take to take a nap? Plus that matches up with what Owen said in his testimony. What if he was asleep? How could you tell it was Owen? How'd you know it wasn't Wendell? I've known the guy for ages. One look at his face and I knew which one I'm dealing with. I see. Where'd you find your master's note? I don't know. I can't remember. Did you notice anything else unusual or out of place in the room? Well, there was the sake and half-eaten manji on the table. But I didn't see anything out of place or whatever in the room, though.
Or is that a fact?
Of course it is. What do you think?
And you didn't change anything around while you were in there?
I didn't do anything. Look, I'm telling you. I didn't see anything funny near Shisha, and I didn't touch anything in the room.
You're baldness. I request that Gator's last statement be added to her testimony.
Simon, what's a statement like that gonna do for us?
Just play along, you'll see soon enough.
I think I know what we need to do. I have no problem with adding that to the testimony, but how about you, Miss Sykes?
I have no problem with it either, Your Honor. What is Simon thinking?
Wouldn't Blackwell notice the snoring when he was around? I mean, maybe. But, I don't know, maybe the room is pretty soundproof. You know, people can snore, but maybe they just don't hear it. Maybe it's too quiet. Remember that the TV was right by the door, so it was probably a lot louder and it might have drowned out any other sounds in the room. So I just want to confirm, you didn't see anything at all unusual or out of place anywhere around the victim? I already told you, nothing. And you didn't touch anything at all in the dressing room? How many times have I got to say it? No, I didn't touch anything. Wait, but then, is she saying she didn't see what Wendell immediately saw when he checked the victim's body? Tell me it wasn't there yet at the time? Oh, hold on. I guess there was something. What is it? The soap making equipment was already there in the room. That means Bucky must have been there in the dressing room before me, doing something. Ah, thanks for the non-help. Well, a new statement has been added, but she's still sticking her guns.
She said she didn't see anything unusual in the dressing room. That strikes me as a little strange on its own.
Really? Why?
If Master Tornado really is the one who left that, you'd think Gator would have noticed it. And if Master Tornado wasn't the one who left it, then must ask who did. You know what I'm getting at, don't you, Athena?
I think so. Really appreciate Simon's help, but I've got to come up with the answer myself this time.
Okay, where's that new statement? Oh, we didn't press this one yet.
So you admit that the scene and Owen smelled when he witnessed the crime was from your perfume? Yeah, sure, why not? All it proves is I was in the dressing room anyway. You don't do a thing to prove I killed Shisho. That may be true, but Bucky's the one who bumped off Shisho.
Didn't say anything funny near Shisho and I didn't touch anything in the room.
Gator, you said you didn't notice anything odd or unusual near your master. You also said you didn't touch anything in the dressing room. That's right. What about it? No wonder who left that dying message with the Karuta cards. What are you going on about? It had to have been that Bucky. So Sorry, but that's not possible. Because only 3 people knew of Wendo's personalities. The Wendo, your master, and you.
If Bucky had left that Karuta message, he wouldn't have spelled out Owen. He would have spelled out Wendo.
What it boils down to is this. As a member of the Tornado School, you, Geru Tornado, are the only one who could have left that dying message. And as the person who left that message, it's clear that you are Master Tornado's killer. Will you ever quit your yapping?
You are like wretches clinging to the spider thread of salvation. Allow me to cut that holy thread from the heavens and bring you back down to earth.
Would you quit butting in whenever things start to go my way?
Silence, child. Playtime is over.
What did you just say?
As the witness stated, she went into the dressing room and soon came back out again. But the victim's oath was not the only reason she left with such haste. There was another reason that compelled Geru to leave at once. Geru, would you please relate said reason to the court?
There was a reason why Geru had to leave the dressing room? Well, I didn't want to show you this, but I guess I got no choice. Keep your eyes peeled, because here it comes.
A red hand?
Hand's all swollen and red. What happened, Geru? If you must know, I'm allergic to buckwheat.
Oh. Wait, is that why maybe she's not a Rakugo artist? Because they use noodles as props all the time? And her allergy makes it kind of hard to, you know, handle noodles?
Allergic reactions to buckwheat can vary, though they're usually on the severe side. With Typhoon Tornado making soba noodles in his dressing room, Geru is lucky to still be alive considering all the soba flour that was swirling in the air.
Good thing I left foot pretty quick. I managed to escape with just a mild reaction. But I touched Shisho as he was being carried away, and look what it did to my poor hands. There must have been soba broth on his clothes or something. If I'd inhaled any of that soba flour, I'd have had a seizure and it'd been good night, Geru. I never could have stayed in that dressing room for very long. A person allergic to buckwheat couldn't be in a room with soba flour in the air, and certainly couldn't use soba dough as a murder weapon either.
Not if you had gloves on, maybe. Yeah, I'm sure it'd be risky to your health, but if you're dead set on murder, you might do some crazy shit.
This ain't good.
You knew it would come to this, didn't you? That's why you never mentioned her allergy.
I mean, gloves would help, but like if it's on skin contact, like they were saying, flour swirling in the air, the flour from like the soba dough, yeah, it would be pretty dangerous. That's a fucking health hazard right there for someone like that.
As if I would do anything so underhanded. I was simply trying to protect the privacy of this witness.
Gloves only go so far when it's in that situation.
I'm sick of all these accusations. Why don't I just testify and get it all out in the open, yeah? If I come into the slightest contact with buckwheat, I get an allergic reaction. And with that much soba flour in the air, that room could have literally killed me. Look at my hand. Just touching Shiso's body caused this much damage. There must have been soba broth on his clothes. So I never could have committed that murder in the dressing room. Still can't believe it. Nobody told me she had a soba allergy. Did you know, Simon?
Does it look like I knew? Protect the privacy of the witness, my foot. What a dirty trick.
Now what do we do?
There's only one thing to do. The prosecutor Sackbug to shave with your cross-examination.
Right.
I'm guessing it's a lie. What, you think someone would lie about an allergy like that? Nah, you can't fake a swollen hand like that. There's no way. That's an insane lie. I mean, it'd be a perfect lie in this situation for sure, but I don't know.
How do we prove she's not allergic? Do we get Bucky back in here and give her some noodles? Like, if she is allergic, that would just be us torturing her. I mean, hell, we could be held accountable for murder at that point. You're not lying about this soba allergy of yours, right? Of course not. I swear on the grave of my father up in heaven. I can't even get you a doctor's certificate if you want. She seems to be telling the truth. I've had this allergy for as long as I remember. But I never dreamt in a million years it'd clear me of murder. And you'll come out of this smelling like a delicate buckwheat flower to boot. Well said, Your Honor. Didn't they eat it in this room? Wouldn't she be tweaking out right now? Yeah, you're not wrong, but I think like it's mostly a contact thing, right? And those were like cooked noodles. There's not gonna be soba flour swirling from the noodles themselves. And if there was any mess on like the witness stand or whatever, you know, they would have cleaned all that up before she came in, I'm sure. I'll give you that there was quite a bit of flour scattered about in that dressing room, but you went in to pay your respects to your master regardless, right? Yeah, but like I said, I came right back out. I mean, the soba making tools were right there. You better believe I was careful not to breathe any of it in. But you still could have committed this crime if you held your breath while doing it. Don't be ridiculous. I would have suffocated to death before Shisho did. Yeah, I guess you're right. Jeez. Get a grip, will ya? Maybe there's a twist here. Like, you're actually allergic to dogs and not soba? There's no dogs in the dressing room! You're kidding. Bring my little Jugemu in here. I'll hug and squeeze him like there's no tomorrow. I'm telling you, I have a genuine, honest-to-goddess soba allergy.
Defense. The witness clearly has an authentic allergy to buckwheat. Any further deliberation on the matter would be meaningless, pointless, worthless.
You heard the man, lawyer girl. All right, fine. I was just starting to think the same thing myself. Doesn't mean you have to like it, though. Probably got this allergic reaction in my hand here because I touched Shisho. Must've been soba broth on his clothes. Was there though? I have a question about that actually. If you're allergic to soba, does that mean you're allergic to the noodle broth too? Well, the buckwheat from the noodles can dissolve in the broth, so duh. Touching soba broth can be just as deadly for me. Don't you know anything? What an amateur. I'm sorry. Do I look like a doctor to you? Look, anything that has soap in it, or anything that's touched soba, is like poison to me. My cutoff is wait, what? Oh, and spicy. Oh my god. Just because dog was mentioned, apparently. So, I just want to cover all my bases, but could the murder have possibly occurred somewhere other than the dressing room?
Objection.
That is out of the question. By even asking, you show your complete disregard for all we have discussed until now.
Yes, I have to agree. The defense can't go around suggesting new premises without bases. Unfortunately for you, Shisho didn't take a single step from his dressing room around the time of the murder. Well, that is unfortunate for everyone. Oh, come on, there was definitely a testimony in there I could probably press on. Or present on.
Gedo could not have possibly committed this crime in a room where soba was being made. Finally, the time has come for the last rites of the victim to begin.
What would Mr. Wright do at a time like this? Crickets! There's only one thing to do.
What are you smiling about? Has the pressure overwhelmed you?
Nope. It's just the worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles.
I see. You have no rebuttal, and so the only thing left to you is to smile.
That's where you're wrong. I do have a rebuttal. Turn your thinking around, Athena. I'm trying to figure out how Geru, who is allergic to soba, could commit the crime. Figure out how Geru could be in that room and not have an allergic reaction instead.
Let me rest? Maybe if I was a lump of regular flour dough for udon noodles. I'm fresh, like my soba, and you don't let soba dough rest. It's all about the three freshes. Iron the buckwheat seeds fresh, cut the dough fresh, and boil the noodle. He's blacked out.
Maybe the dough wasn't fresh. Appears to have been written by the victim. Allow me to read it. Resting. Do not disturb. Yes, that's the note I saw. After reading that, who wouldn't think Shisha was napping?
If you must know, I'm allergic to buckwheat. One, two. What if that certain piece of evidence doesn't mean what we think it means? That's the case, and I might be able to prove that Geru could have committed this crime.
No matter how hard you search your mind, you cannot overturn facts.
Well, Miss Sykes, if you have no further objections, I'll hand down my ruling. Sure, I can't overturn facts, but what if we got our facts about a piece of evidence wrong?
Got our facts wrong? What are you talking about now?
And which piece of evidence do you mean, Miss Sykes? Please point it out to this court. This evidence proves that Geru could have killed her master, even with a soba allergy. It's Master Tornado's note. The note?
Preposterous. What possible connection could there be between the witness's allergy and that note?
The answer lies in the true meaning of this note. Its true meaning? This note does not mean I am resting, do not disturb, as we had assumed. But rather it actually means this dough is resting, do not disturb it.
Wait a minute, Athena. That doesn't make any sense.
You're right, it doesn't. After all, as Bucky told us many a time, you don't let soba dough rest. What's all this jibber-jabber got to do with anything? This is it. Home stretch. As though Mr. Wet's words have led me to the conclusion that Master Tornado was... The victim, Typhoon Tornado, was not making buckwheat noodles. He was making ordinary udon noodles instead.
Kunka.
That layer of flour in the dressing wasn't soba flour, but plain old wheat flour for udon. So actually, it was totally possible for Geru to be in that room and kill her master. And before she, like, reveals that she has a wheat allergy too.
I had one of those for a little while as a kid.
What? But if that's true, it changes everything. Your Honor, defense requests that the flour in the room be tested immediately.
Fuck is udon? Just a different kind of noodle. It's made with wheat, as they just finished saying. That's really the only real difference. Except you don't serve udon cold, as far as I know. That's definitely a noodle that's used in other dishes and served hot. It's a very delicious noodle, though. Quite good. I think they're a little thicker than soba too. Soba is a little is kind of thin and like angel hair, I think, or similar to it, and then udon's like a thicker type of noodle. I missed that. What happened? So yeah, basically, we all thought that the victim was making soba noodles, which this witness is definitely allergic to. But it turns out, what if he wasn't? What if he was making non-soba noodles without buckwheat flour? The kind of noodles that she wasn't allergic to. Therefore meaning, she could definitely have been in the room at the time of the murder. And wouldn't have been fine. But soba noodles were found in the bowl and Geru did have a reaction on her hand. How do you explain those things? Because Bucky literally delivered them?
Why do you think he was in the room? He probably delivered soba noodles.
Well...
Even if it were udon flour instead of soba, you still cannot prove Gedo committed the crime.
But...
Why'd her face have yellow? Because she was like gnawing on her balloon sword and it popped. I'm surprised it took this long.
Don't lose your nerve now. Keep charging forward, you'll feel my blade at your back.
Enough with the threats already, I got it. Talk about pressure. Alright, Athena. Take a deep breath and go over everything again.
I'm gonna visualize the case from start to finish. Alright, here's your recap.
I have to find conclusive evidence that Gedo committed this murder. What was Master Tornado making in his dressing room?
I mean, we just determined it was probably not soba.
By my logic, Master Tornado must have been making udon noodles in his dressing room. But something at the crime scene indicates otherwise. What was found in the bowl on the table? Even though the master wasn't making soba, soba noodles were found at the crime scene. So that means that noodles had to have come from somewhere. Wait a minute, one mysterious serving of soba noodles? That sounds familiar. Where'd the soba in the bowl on the table come from?
Oh. Well, yeah, okay. And then, well, but it would have been Bucky? Isn't that why Bucky was there? I mean, he delivered the... I don't think Gator would have made it. I guess it was just his stock then. Were we aware that he had a stock of soba noodles? I guess he probably used it as part of his, as props for his stage performance, but I thought maybe Bucky might have dropped off the noodles. I mean, he was literally there earlier.
Soba noodles found at the scene were from the master's stock of uncooked noodles. But then, why would the culprit go out of her way to cook that soba and put it in the bowl? Why the culprit cook the soba noodles and put them in the bowl?
Hide the udon dough? Wait, But then that would...
Soba was found at the scene, so that means the culprit must have taken the udon with her to hide it. Why did the culprit take away the udon and hide it? Must have been because she...
killed him with the udon dough, yeah. It wasn't soba dough that he was killed with, it was udon dough.
Fit. The udon dough was the real weapon used to kill Typhoon Tornado. And the reason why no weapon was found is because Gedo got rid of the dough somehow.
She ate the murder weapon. Yeah, you'll never find it. You think she's like wasting in-court time saying this out loud and making these notes too? No, she doesn't say anything. They've commented on this before. Like the prosecutor will be like, "What are you doing just standing there? We're waiting for a response." Like when Phoenix does it or whatever. So no, when that's going on, she's just standing there thinking, delaying everyone's time, and everyone's getting pissed at her because she's just doing nothing and stalling. So she's not saying anything aloud. This is all in her head. But the fact that she's just standing there doing nothing is what's pissing everyone off. You have a place that can make soba noodles like 11 minutes away? What the fuck? That sounds kind of sick. I would be down to try soba, but I don't know of any places nearby. Around here, we only have like ramen, which is fucking delicious, but that's kind of all you got. Not really, as far as I know, there's not really a place to eat soba. There probably is somewhere. I would have to like look for it.
If we can find this dough, that'll prove my theory correct.
I don't think we're gonna find the dough. That's the problem here. If she cooked it into noodles, like, why? What's to say she didn't just eat them?
And undeniably prove Gedo's guilt.
How are we gonna find cooked udon noodles, and how is that gonna prove anything? They're noodles.
Even if we could find this dough, what makes you think it would prove she is the one? Please recall Owen's eyewitness testimony, Prosecutor Satmati. If the injury on Gedo's forehead was caused by the victim's knife, Then Gator's blood must have dripped down onto the dough used as the murder weapon. That would make the dough pretty conclusive evidence, wouldn't you agree? Yeah, but like, did we just finish saying that she like cooked it? Hang on here. Why did Culprit take the udon away and high? Must she hit? Yeah. She cooked the soba noodles and put them in the bowl to hide the udon dough. Wait, okay, how does... Soba noodles found at the scene were from the master's stock of uncooked noodles. Why would the culprit go all the way? So it was just like to try and throw people off the trail of the udon dough by thinking that the soba dough was like the weapon? Why not? Why do that at all? Like, that still doesn't make sense to me. Like, why? Wouldn't it have just been better? What I would have done? I would have taken the dough, the udon dough, I would have cooked it, and I would have eaten it. You will never find the dough at that point. It's got blood on it, it's just a little extra iron. Still would have done it. Like, why would you cook a random batch of soba noodles in an attempt to cover up your murder with udon dough? I think to make it look like the udon was cooked and used and wasted or something, hide it in the trash, the real udon. Yeah, but like, then why not just cook the udon directly instead, right? Like, why not just cook it and then throw that in the trash or something? Why cook soba? Especially if you're allergic to soba, why would you even like try and use it to cover up your murder? But where is the conclusive evidence? Let us hear your theory on where this murder weapon is. It's in her cake. On the witness stand right now. I guarantee it's inside that cake. Why? I don't know. It's something about culprits in this series love taking the murder weapons with them to court. They saw that guy, that acrobat do it one time and are like, hell yeah, this is a perfect strategy. Maybe it didn't work for him. It'll totally work for me. And it's never worked since. Well, if I can't find the answer in the evidence I have on hand, we'll lose this trial. So how did Gato get rid of the udon dough? Think, Athena. What do I have that points to suspicious behavior on Gato's part? Now then, Miss Sykes, let's hear your answer. Where is the real murder weapon hidden?
Nice barking you did there. I assume you have the bite to back it up.
Stop distracting me, especially not right now. This piece of evidence can point us to the location of the hidden murder weapon. Balloon Act and Windows perform a Soba Glen routine. Finally, Master Tornadoes perform his time Soba routine. You think they might have used as a prop instead of udon? It's not gonna be in the... Unless it's this again. No, but that would just make it more obvious that it's not Soba. Because you don't let Soba rest, right? The title lead? Nah, I don't think so. It must have been used in the show. Oh no, okay. Kick her tits. I wouldn't be surprised. Wait, maybe that's why they're so big. What if she did stick them in there? Oh no. That can actually be it. But how do we get there? Where are the steps provided to get to that point? Where we ask her to strip in the middle of court. Oh, she gave it to her dog? Yeah, she probably gave it to the dog. I forgot about that. I forgot that that was her dog. She just said it earlier, too. It's either the dog or it's in her hat. One or the other. Alright. Well, yeah, we'll do the doghouse. I'll present the map. No? Okay. Maybe it is the note. That doesn't... Why? That doesn't make any sense, though. Like, you're not gonna hide udon... hiding in plain sight? Hmm. Did she hide it in here somehow? I don't know where she would have hidden it in here. There are 2 drink cans in the fridge. What if they're in the cans? I already tried the ticket. I don't know how else to present the act except with this, with the invitation. I mean, it's probably this thing, because like it's the only thing with like anything in it. No, okay. I thought maybe we could point to something. There's so many possible objects in there, hiding in plain sight. What's even left? The title deed? That's kind of all that's left. I tried the dog. I tried this. How else do we present the dog? This has like the picture of the doghouse in it. Is there anything else here? I don't see anything else that can present the dog. Did I not click this? I thought I presented this already. Yeah, it doesn't tell you what evidence I've actually prevent. I swear I already presented this. Did I not click this? Did I click something else thinking I clicked this? Because we presented... Okay, I presented this, I presented this, and I presented this. These are the 3 things that we've tried so far. The only other thing I can remotely think of is this, but this makes 0 sense. Because you let Udon rest, but like that just... that tells everyone that's Udon and not Soba. Did someone mention something about the dog in his statement? Let me check. Where's the last thing he said? Do I even have that far back on here? Well, he said barking. Is that the hint? Like, yeah, the dog makes sense, but how do we point to the dog? I already tried presenting this. Yeah, it has to be the dog. I think you're right, but like, I don't know where else we can... Oh, this has dog in it. Oh, right. His statement, that statement. Yeah, okay. I forgot that was 3 pages. I looked at it too and I didn't see the number 1 of 3. That's my fault. Gator. Totally forgot about that one. Huh? What is it? I'm just an innocent girl. I don't know anything about a murder. Stop that cute act in your balloon hat. Gato got rid of the dough she used to kill Master Tornado in a bold and daring way. She did it right in front of Prosecutor Blackwell's nose, by feeding it to her dog. So we'll never find the murder weapon because it's long gone. No,
Of course. Now it all makes sense. I was puzzled as to why Gator, who should know her own dog's eating habits, would feed Chukemu more than he could possibly finish.
Your Honor, please order an investigation of the yard right now. Oh, maybe they'll find leftovers they didn't finish. And what should the police be in the theater be looking for exactly? Chikema must have buried his leftover dumplings somewhere around his doghouse. Dumplings that Geiru made out of the udon dough with her blood in it. Well, when you put it that way... This is preposterous. I want to thank you, Simon. If you hadn't kept me going, I might have given up along the way.
What are you blathering on about? You still have work to do. Now, by your hand, finish this wretched case off, Athena.
You got it. Gato, do you remember what you said would happen when the truth is finally revealed? When the truth's revealed, it'll be your balloon or mine that goes pop. Got it? Yeah, I want to see hers go pop. Well, now the truth is out, it looks to me like it's your balloon that goes pop. I think it would have been really funny if she had the dough on her person. Like, that would have just been perfect. I could definitely have seen the game going that way too. I was the one who was supposed to inherit that name. But then, she's so... The nose was also a balloon. I didn't see that one coming. Why my balloon's bursting? Daddy, are you mad at me? I've been a bad girl. I... Oh, here it comes. Yeah. They really were balloons the whole time. Oh, even that was a wig. Wow. Okay, look, I didn't really think that was possible because I mean anime, but I wasn't expecting the wig. Hi, Raiders, tell us everything now, Geru. The whole reason I entered the world of Rakugo in the first place was to follow my father's wonderful footsteps and inherit his stage name. His stage name? You don't mean...
Window Tornado.
I knew I wasn't very good at storytelling, but I thought that if I did the stupid balloon thing like she so wanted, I'd inherit the name someday. Master Tornado gave the name to his junior disciple. Yeah, that's why I took my revenge on Shiso during the show celebrating the name succession. So that was your entire motive? I doubt anybody else could understand, but inheriting my father's name was everything to me. It was my whole reason for living.
Of all the days you could have taken your revenge, why did you choose the day of the show?
Because I wanted to pay Wendo back for stealing what was rightfully mine. I would have pinned the blame on him at the show where all the Tornado fans were gathered. But then, Wendo tried to shift the blame onto Bucky Wet, and now we know the whole story.
There's just one more thing I want to know. Did you know Master Tornado was making udon in his dressing room yesterday?
No, I didn't. When I saw the soba-making tools, I was worried about my allergy. But it was my only chance to get my revenge on the two of them, so I went ahead and did it.
So it was a premeditated crime, but in the end you only went through with it on impulse. Then the allergic reaction on your hand. Is it from touching the soba in the refrigerator with your bare hands? When you were tampering with the crime scene after your master's death?
Yeah. By that time I wasn't clear-headed enough to worry about my allergy.
Geru, how could you do all this? You idiot.
Geru, I get your desire to inherit your father's name. But what you really should have inherited from wasn't his name, but his heart. His heart. No, she didn't kill his dad. She killed his dad's master. You have anything to add, Prosecutor Sadmati? Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
No, I don't. Yeah, Master Tornado was right. Like that wasn't her dad, was it? I thought that there was like another person in between here. Yeah, no, I think that the Tornado thing is more of a stage name. They're not related in that regard. No. If that, yeah, no, I see what you're saying. No, if I remember correctly, yeah, no, none of these people were related at all. They were just like his disciples, but they took on the stage name Tornado. And then, like, one of them was going to take on the prestigious title of Uendo Tornado, which did belong to her dad, her actual father. I can't remember if they said what happened to him or not, if it was relevant.
Miss Athena Sykes.
Yes? That's the first time you used my name.
I shall be sure to remember your name.
Really?
It seems he finally recognizes you as a proper adversary.
Thanks. That's all I ask, Prosecutor Satmati. It looks like there are no further objections. Bailiff, please bring in the defendant. Could have sworn she shows up in another game, right? No, this is the last one. There is no other game yet. And supposedly there is. It was like, there was a leaked internal, like, presentation document. Like a slideshow or, like, PowerPoint or whatever. And they had a bunch of unreleased Capcom games, some of which did get announced eventually, and one of them on that sheet was Ace Attorney 7. But that still doesn't exist. We have no idea if it's still real, if they're still working on it, if it got canceled internally. But at the very least, it does prove that there was plans for an Ace Attorney 7 at some point. Yeah, and the only other two games we have left to play after this are they're essentially prequels, but they're so far removed from the rest of the series that they're just kind of their own thing. A couple of spin-offs, more of this gameplay, but spin-offs nonetheless. Ah, good. It seems you've made a full recovery. And now then, this court finds the defendant, Bucky Wet. No, we haven't gotten any info on it. Like, they haven't even, like, publicly acknowledged the game existing. But I think they'll eventually reveal it. I think we will get a Ace Attorney 7 eventually. I mean, you don't go through all this effort to not only remaster every single game, but also provide official translations in English for two games that never had them before. But not only that, but then also then translate them into like a dozen other languages for the very first time. All of the games. You don't go through all that effort if you don't plan on making a new entry in the near future. I guarantee if we don't see an Ace Attorney 7 by next year, then I am going to say that game was canceled for some reason. But I'm certain that we will see something about an Ace Attorney 7 by the end of next year. Even if it's not out at that time, I think we will for sure see. They will confirm its existence. Or if they don't, then we'll never see it at that point. Because by that point, like they have already released everything, they've gone through all this trouble, and then like, okay, I guess they just really just wanted to, make the series more accessible for whatever reason, than just not do anything with it. How much longer are we going? Yeah, I thought this was gonna be a bit longer. I thought maybe we weren't like. Just a little longer. I don't know how much longer we're going. I didn't really have anything planned out after this, honestly. I didn't prepare any of the new stuff yet. We might just end it after this, gonna be honest. It'll just end up being a shorter stream. This is the end of this game, seems like it's done. No, this is only case 4. We have 2 more cases to go. We have the finale case, case 5. We have a DLC bonus case. And we have another bonus that I plan to stream after that. That is technically part of this game. It's just not in this collection. But we're not going to do Case 5 until after October, because next week, next Tuesday, we're going to be starting the Halloween schedule, which I need to still update. I'll update the Twitch schedule tonight, but on the Discord, I've already announced it. You can see some of the stuff that we're going to be playing. I mean, we've already started a couple of things. We have Mario and System Shock for sure. But, yeah, we'll come back to this game in November. Yeah, there's still a lot of game. This is probably the biggest one in terms of just, like, raw case number and content. Even if this collection doesn't have every single piece of gameplay content in it. Congratulations, Bucky. So glad you're found innocent.
Thanks for everything, Miss Chickadee.
But still sucks you were accused of a crime you didn't commit. Did Wendo have it out for you or something?
I don't think so.
Wendo said it was the spur-of-the-moment idea he got when he saw the Soba-themed cards.
Simon, where have you been?
I stopped into Wendo's questioning. Only you, Bucky, could get framed for a crime on a whim.
Can this guy become the new Larry? I'd be down if this, like, Soba noodle guy became the new Larry.
No way. I was kind of convicted of convenience.
That sounds like something that would happen to Larry. In fact, it has. Twice. Well, at least you're completely cleared on all charges, so, buck up, Bucky. On a more important note, what I really want to know is, why didn't Master Tornado let Geru inherit her father's name?
What do you mean on a more important note, Miss Chickadee?
Oh, don't be such a wet blanket. Just go with the flow. Now, come on.
Have we not seen Larry? Not for a long time, we haven't. I think at this point, like, the chances of us seeing any of the characters from the first 3 games, aside from maybe Edgeworth, like in the last game, pretty much slim to none. We did technically get a 3D model for Gumshoe. Technically. But I don't think we're going to be seeing any of them. Unless they decide to bring them all back for, like, the next one somehow.
You think the Master was trying to encourage her to quit the entertainment business?
Nah, that's not it. He didn't give the name to her because he wanted Geru to find her own calling in life. And form whatever she wanted without being bound by her father's name or Takugo. Making udon was his way of showing his support for her in her new endeavor.
So that's why he called you to the theater, huh? To teach him how to make udon?
A more roundabout way I've never seen. That's Master Tornado for you.
Is this entire incident happened because of a misunderstanding? How sad.
Yeah, get used to it, Athena. That's like 70% of these cases.
By the way, Geru wasn't the only person Master Tornado was trying to cheer on. Even though the person in question still seems unaware of the Master's intentions. What? You talking about me? Come on, no way. All that old man ever did was criticize my soba.
That's not true, Bucky. Must be a way to make Bucky see just how much Master Tornado cared about him.
Hey, we never used this item.
Take a good look, Bucky. Whose name is on there as the holder of this title deed?
It's still in my name. Master Tornado was just up to one of his tricks when he said he stole the shop from you. He was trying to force you to grow into a truly capable owner in your father's stead.
He probably used some tough love on you so that the shop wouldn't go just belly up.
Wait, what? Larry's in this game? Actually? We haven't seen Larry. We haven't seen Larry yet. Is he in like one of the later cases? Oh, maybe he's in like the DLC case or something. Oh, I get his hair now. It looks like a bowl of noodles because his headband.
I see. I never knew. Oh, Master Tornado. I'm so sorry. Keep working hard, Bucky, and pay him back by living up to his expectations. Thanks, Simon. And you too, Miss Chickadee. One day my soba's gonna be so good it'll knock that old man's socks clean off. After all, I'm the 4th generation owner of Wet Soba. Wet Noodle number 4. Well, I better be getting back to my shop. I gotta get ready for the lunch rush.
Hold on. Could I place an order for a delivery, Bucky?
Yes, Miss Chickadee?
Could you deliver a bowl of udon to Geru on behalf of her master?
You got it. I'll make sure it's got all the TLC Master Tornado would have packed in it too.
Thank you.
Well, see ya. Be sure to drop by the shop sometime.
I will. And I'll bring the whole agency with me.
Oh shit. The ramen cart's got some competition.
Do us all proud, Bucky. The best soba in town waiting for you when you come. Peace out.
It's nice to see somebody giving it their all, isn't it? I wonder if I leveled up any thanks to this case.
Don't kid yourself. The trial would have been a spectacle and a half had it not been by your side.
You don't know that.
Our lawyers adverse in psychology are too full of weak points. You need to learn to analyze yourself more objectively.
Or you could just teach me your famous mind tricks, Simon.
No.
Way to shut someone down. And why not?
Because the more pesky lawyers there are, the harder my job becomes. So it's in my best interest for you to remain green forever.
Wow, okay.
Hey, what about what's in my best interest, huh? Besides, weren't you the one who had the wool pulled over your eyes by Wendo?
Must you remind me? How could I have known Wendo would be due time soba?
Hey, speaking of time soba, I just thought of something funny.
Oh, goody. I can't wait.
Okay, here it is. In time soba, why didn't Mon number 9 get counted? Come on. Do you know, Simon?
How should I know?
Because 789. Thank you, thank you. I'll be here all week.
That I should have known. Come on, let's go get soba or something and go home.
Your treat.
I'll treat you to 50% of the tab. And don't forget, you still owe me for that manju.
Really, Simon? Wouldn't hurt for you to pay for me every once in a while, you know?
Quit squawking and start walking, Athena.
Didn't they just, like, order delivery? Why are they going to get soba? She literally just asked for delivery to the office. She's gonna go out and get soba, and then go home and get more soba. Oh no, it was udon for, never mind. It was udon for Gator. Never mind. They're not getting it. Okay. Yeah, they ordered it for Gator. Yeah, that's right. Never mind. I'm stupid. I forgot. I still have a ways to go as a lawyer. But just like Mr. Wright, Paulo, and Simon before me, I'm gonna get there someday. After all, I've inherited their passion for our courts and the law. Je peux le faire. I can do this. Maybe Ace Attorney 7 will be the start of like an Athena Sykes trilogy or something. Because if this was technically the Apollo Justice trilogy, it only makes sense. Especially if the end of this game is like meant to be kind of a retirement of Phoenix to some degree. Why is she French? She speaks like every language she can think of. She's just a language nerd. Don't save the current progress and do the whole... Yeah, we could probably speedrun the whole thing in like half an hour, couldn't we, if we just skipped all the dialogue, eh? Alright, well, I thought this was gonna go at least a little longer, but I don't really have anything else planned for the night. So, I guess this is kind of it. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, we'll be continuing Phoenix Wright after October, when we'll start Case 5. We only have a couple cases to go. This game is... I guess technically I would say this is like just beyond the halfway point given how much is left. A speedrun seems so funny to me, you just skipped the... Yeah, okay, actually, wait, hang on a second. I want to see, is there's got to be an Ace... Yeah, like, the idea of speedrunning a visual novel has always sounded wild to me. Because, like, what exactly are you speedrunning half the time? Like, it's just a really long series of menus. But there's leaderboards here. I'm looking at them right now. You know, something like Zero Escape I can kind of see because you have to go and do all the puzzles. You have to do, like, the room escape portions. But a Phoenix Wright game, like... Yeah, you could just zoom through them all in 2 hours. This is on the Wii. The world record on the Wii for the original Ace Attorney is 2 hours and 15 minutes. Now, it's apparently on New Game Plus. I'm guessing that's because that lets you, like, actually fast forward the text, whereas normal game is just, you don't get the fast forward because it's a fresh save and it doesn't know you've seen everything. I'm assuming. And these aren't even like the Japanese versions, which you'd think would be shorter. This is like the American versions. It's actually faster on the trilogy re-release. It's an hour and 46. Probably because there's like better options to speed text up in that version. But yeah, just the idea of like speedrunning a visual novel is just wild to me. Because like, what is the skill? I bet half that speedrun is literally just holding down like right click on the mouse or something or whatever equivalent, and letting the text fast forward. Yeah, there was a Wii version. I remember when it came out, I thought it was like cool. It's kind of how I wanted to play the games originally because I didn't have them on DS. But you could like you could take the Wii remote and you could like point with it to do the objections and to present, which I thought was kind of fun. It was like the one gesture in the entire game, but that's how you did that's how you presented things. No, New Game Plus is a In this case, is a terminology speedrunners use to show that it's not a fresh save. So like, there's usually two ways you could speedrun a game. You either like just it's like you're booting the game up for the first time, everything's fresh and new, the game thinks you're the first time playing it, and you speedrun that way. New Game Plus can mean that you have a prepared save in some degree that has already been the game, and you're just using it to go through the motions and play through it again. In the case of Ace Attorney, what this allows is if you use an existing save and you go and redo a case, it lets you fast forward the text. So like, you notice how when sometimes I died, or if I went through and like, pressed something again, I could like hold the button down to fast forward it. That's because I've already seen the text before. If I was to use this save file, like say I beat this whole trilogy and then use the save file to play through one of these cases again, I could still fast forward the text. So in the speedrun, that would be considered New Game Plus because I'm using an existing save. I'm not making a new save down here and starting from scratch. That's what it means. It doesn't mean that the game itself has New Game Plus. Phoenix Wright does not have New Game Plus. New Game Plus means you take more damage when you're the prosecutor. Actually, that does happen in one of the games. If you press in one of the cases, I think it was in the second game. Yeah, it might have actually been Big Top Turnabout. But in one of the testimonies, if you pressed on the wrong statement, you did lose health. They never did it again. I don't know why. I thought it was kind of cool. I think other people thought it was too punishing, I guess. But you had to be careful on which statements you pressed because the judge was getting so pissed off at Phoenix's like incessant pressing that he was like, "All right, that's it. Next time you press the wrong statement, if it's not relevant, I am giving you a penalty." And you can game over from pressing the wrong statements in that one specific cross-examination. But it's the only time they ever did it in the series, and they've never done it again since. It's still like, honestly, the fact that they even have a health bar at this point, like originally, so the reason the health bar exists, from what I understand, is back on the Game Boy Advance. If you game overed, your last save was the beginning of the trial. You had to redo the entire trial again from the very start. There was no saving in between. And that's why the health bar existed. But in the later releases, you could save pretty much anywhere, all the time. So it's crazy that they even still have a health bar, because to me it just seems redundant. I guess it's just more of a tradition thing. It's like, why does Mario still have a life counter, even though they just like hand you 99 by the end of the first level? It doesn't make any difference. But I guess it's more of a tradition at this point. Yeah, your only checkpoint was like the midday break, like when it goes to recess or whatever. Anytime the game said to be continued, it would offer you a save point, and that was your save. You could not bring up a save menu at any time on the Game Boy. So the life meter had a little more substance to it. But even then, at the end of the day, like, what are you getting penalized on? You already solved the puzzles up to the point where you died, right? So you just are mashing A to get through the text and then getting to the menus and then selecting the same evidence and answering the same questions again until you got to the point where you got stuck, right? It's like, what is the life bar really like punishing you with, except like a huge, waste of time? There's no skill involved with mashing a text box, right? And you've already solved the puzzle, so that skill's gone. You've already done them. You can't, forget what your solutions were after all. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just more of like it's just more of a statement thing. But I don't know. It's interesting. We're getting close to the end of the series. We still have 2 more games to go. I guess we're not that close, to be fair. But I'm gonna have to start thinking about what we're playing after this when we're done Ace Attorney. What other big series you want to play through next? I mean, Tuesday's kind of, over the last couple of years, has kind of become our big like marathon days, hasn't it? I mean, it was Kingdom Hearts before this, and then there was Phoenix Wright. I'll have to think about what we want to do after all this is over. I hope there's an Ace Attorney 7 soon. It'd be nice if there was one, but I guess we'll have to wait and see on that. I'm not starting the next case, no, because like, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna forget what happens in the month, right? There's no point teasing it. We're not playing this game for another month. No, fuck. I didn't mean to press that. No tease. That's your tease. There's your tease. Title screen. That's it. That's all you're getting for next month. Nothing else. No tease. Get out of there. Just replay it. I mean, I guess I could. No, I don't want any spoilers for it. Not for next month. It's the finale. We're leaving. We can't have a tease of the finale, okay? It's the finale for a reason. The tease is the fact that it is the finale, and we know that everything that's happened up to this point. It's probably a big deal. The story in this game has been great. This has made up for every misstep that Dual Destinies has made, and I'm excited to see the finale. I'm really hoping Ace Attorney 7 also lives up to this game. I hope they still remember how to make them after this. No, that's it. I am, yeah, we're going to be ending here. Oh shit, I didn't update the link. Okay, 1 second here. Before we go, I should at least link the new schedule for the next month. I knew I was forgetting something today. I totally forgot it. Forgot to put in the command. I'm going to do that now so that everyone can see it. But yeah, we've got on Friday, there's not going to be a stream tomorrow. I don't know if there's going to be a stream Thursday, but there's not going to be a stream tomorrow for sure. That's usually, I would be streaming Mario tomorrow if there was. So that might be Thursday, might not be at all. Where's my command? Oh, wrong list, that's why. But Friday will be the start of our October stuff. And we have a couple of new games adding to the list. I mean, we've already started doing System Shock. We already started doing Mario. But there's some other stuff that we'll be starting next week as well. Let me just add it to command here. There we go. But there you go. I'm gonna update I'll update the Twitch stuff momentarily. It'll probably be more convenient that way. But yeah, we got on Friday. We're starting Nanashi no Game. It is a DS horror game with some interesting gimmicks to it. It looked kind of interesting. I've never seen it before, but we're going to be playing through that and probably its sequel as well if it ends up going well. On Monday, we're going to be starting the new PS1 Haunted Demo Disc. That's kind of been a tradition on these streams. There wasn't one last year because they didn't make one last year, but I have also been doing the Christmas editions of their stuff, and they're really fun. They're like nice little like grab bags of little indie horror games, all kind of themed around like a low poly PS1 style aesthetic. You can go check out some of my previous streams over the last. I think I did there's like 3 or 4 of them I've done so far on YouTube if you want to see what kinds of stuff are on there. So we'll be playing through that in October. We also have another game that is on there that I'm not going to say yet, and possibly another game on top of that that's not even mentioned on that schedule, if there's time permitting. And I think there might be. I think it'll work out. There might be. And then yeah, we'll play through a Yume Nikki thing. If anyone has any preferences on which Yume Nikki fan game, whatever you want to see me play, that's on the online, let me know in Discord, and I will consider it, because I currently don't have any preferences myself. So if anyone wants to see a specific one that I haven't played through yet, let me know. PS1 demo does have some of those, but like official one. Yeah, this is just more of like think of it as more of like a game jam on itch.io, but it's all like they're all connected. So usually, I don't know if this one does, I'm assuming it does, but usually the way they do it is like there is a hub world you can walk around in, and there's exploration, there's sometimes puzzles in them too, but the hub world lets you access all of the other games. So you have to like go and find the games to play them. The mall one was great. That's like a perfect example. The mall one is really good. The museum was also pretty good. I really like the mall though. I don't know what this one does. I haven't booted up yet, but that's kind of just to set the expectations here. That's what you should be expecting. Just a series of games. Some of the games might be like 5 minutes long. Some of the games might be like an hour and a half long. We've had some pretty long stuff. Some games don't even work at all. We've definitely had to skip a couple, unfortunately, because I could not get them to work for whatever reason. hopefully we don't have any duds like that this year. That would be unfortunate. But yeah, that's the kind of thing to expect with those. Nanashino game is going to be very interesting. It's been a bit since we've streamed a DS game after all, so I still have to get that set up. But that one is I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully it doesn't crash because the way I'm running it's kind of weird. And then beyond that, we have, like I said, Yume Nikki will be probably closer to the end of the month. So let me know which Yume Nikki games you'd like to see. They're on the Yume Nikki online website, and we'll play through those. Of course, everyone's welcome to join, since it is a online MMO style version of it. It's kind of been also a tradition to play through some of that. We'll probably do a little Yume Nikki 2 exploration as well on the side at some point, and there may be one or two other games, one of which is teased on that schedule, another one which I am not putting on there unless I know for sure I'll have time to stream it. But there might be one or two other surprises in there. I mean, yeah, technically AA is technically DS games, but I mean like an actual DS game. Like one where I have to like fucking make an overlay and set up the dual screen and get everything working and all of that stuff. So that's what I mean by DS game, an actual DS game. Can't remember, what was the last DS? Oh, I guess we did just finish streaming 3DS, but I mean actual DS. Have I ever streamed an actual DS game now that I think about it? Aside from like Elite Beat Agents? I don't think I've streamed an actual DS game on an actual DS. We've streamed 3DS games. That's different. Oh no, we streamed Prime Hunters. Duh. Yeah, I had an actual cartridge for that. So that would have been the last DS game. I think that's the only DS game I've streamed, actually, now that I think about it. Oh no, I did do... Yeah, but like, okay, on actual DS. I've streamed a couple of DS games on emulator before I got the capture card. But since getting the capture card, I've only ever used it for 3DS stuff and never DS stuff outside of Hunters. I'm pretty sure. But maybe someone will find some random stream that I've done that goes against that fact. But I don't think I haven't used the DS side of things that much. But yeah, we'll be playing through that. But yeah, in the meantime, that'll be it for today. I didn't really have anything else planned. Expect possibly some Mario 64 Thursday, not Wednesday, this week. Possibly Thursday, but for sure Nanashino game will be starting Friday. It's a very short game. Internet says it's like could be done in one stream, so we'll see how correct it is with that. Thanks for stream. You're welcome. Glad you enjoyed. All right, I'm gonna head off now. Have a good night, everyone, and I will see you next time.